What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Hasbro Transformers Legacy Pointblank. So this is the next in the wave that's coming out. I think it's wave 3. And I'm not getting all the wave. I just saw this in store and I was like, yeah, let me take a look at this because it's an interesting character. We haven't seen a version of this in a while, so it was cool to see. He's got some paint on him, so you got a nice silver paint with blue for the visor. Got some blue paint here for the wheels. We'll see that more in the vehicle mode. You got some blue paint here, which is actually painted because this is red plastic, so they wanted to match the arms. Nice touch there. Blue paint here with silver on the knees, and then some silver and red there for the center. So quite a bit of paint on a character, just a deluxe class. For articulation, the head does rotate on a ball joint. You get almost nothing up and down though, but it does rotate. You do have the little pointy thing on the head. Not quite accurate to point blank, but good enough. Shoulders go up and down on this joint. You can rotate back and forth on this joint here. There's a rotation at the elbow. The elbows are very limited. If you turn them around, you can get a full bend, but obviously not meant to go that way. The hand is now backwards. And I thought maybe I can turn the hand. No, the hands are locked in place. So had they done it this way, you could have got a double jointed elbow, but because of the way they designed it, you end up with this little piece here in the way, and that prevents you from, rotating the elbows. You really get 45 degrees out of those elbows. Your rotation at the waist, no ab crunch. Legs go up to there, back to there, out to the side. These hips are kind of controversial. I think the fandom is split on this because it just kind of is ugly the way they did it. They didn't put any hip skirts or anything down here, but it is what it is. Rotation at the thigh. Similar to the knee, but because of the way it transforms, you can get the full bend out of that. Ankle tilt, and the toes can tilt down. So there you go for articulation. Now for accessories, you get a lone accessory, the Target Master here, which is kind of cool. So if you fold this up, it looks like this. It's got a little bit of black paint, blue paint, a little bit of silver on the face. It doesn't articulate at all. I mean, you can bend at the waist basically, but it's really just fixed. Very, very low cost version of Target Master. So if we take him, and he can, stand next to him or whatever. Take him, fold him up, fold that down, you get the gun, and that will fit into his hand. And unfortunately, the way his elbow bends, you have to kind of lift up the whole arm. And for size comparison, there it is next to the Earthrise Optimus Prime, and same size as all the other deluxe scale figures. So it comes up to about his chest. But looks good, fits in nicely with the retail line. And just for fun, there it is next to the Make Toys version, a masterpiece, point blank. And you can kind of see, based on this, how far off the proportions are. It just like the legs are kind of too wide. The arms are too short. The shoulders, I mean, everything just, the chest is a little weird. Everything is kind of weird on him. Now, they chose it transformed differently. They had the cockpit on the back. This one only has a piece of the cockpit on the back, where most of it is on the front. So that just kind of differentiates this one because it's got the detail underneath. So it's got a faux cockpit just to do that. I think that was a smart way to do it, but either way, fun little comparison for you. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his vehicle mode. So go ahead, come to the back here. We're going to pull this panel out. The head's going to fold in. Take this back, put it over. This is going to come to the front. We're going to take the arms, rotate these up. These are going to fold in and end up making the side of the arm. So fold that down. This is going to come up on this joint right here. So fold that in. And this will come around and make the front of the car. So I'll do that one more time. Fold that up. Fold this over. Bring this in on this joint. And this is going to come around and make the front of the car. Then these are going to come together and tab into each other. So just line those up and straight. And they should be able to tab together. All right, come to the bottom here. We'll just fold these out of the way. And these are going to end up being part of the car. But this is going to tab into the front here. Come to the waist, rotate 180 degrees. Bring down the feet. And we're going to open up this panel here. Oops. And if you're not careful, you can pop this off. Not a big deal. It's on a little mushroom peg. Just pop this back on, fold the foot down, and that's going to tab in to the top of this panel here. So get it lined up and tab it in. Right, same on this side. Fold this over and make sure this makes its way around this piece. Fold this down and tab it into the top of that piece. Then we can take the canopy, close that back down, and for the finishing touch we're going to take this piece here. That's going to tab. There's two little tabs right here and here, so just tab it in. And there we have Pointblank in his vehicle mode. Actually pretty good looking. Got some nice detail here for the headlights. Autobot symbol there, some black paint here. Nice light blue paint on top of the translucent blue for the cockpit. Light blue back here. The wheels are painted in light blue as well. The wheels are actually really nicely done. I was thinking they were going to do cheap pegs, but they didn't. They did nice pins. It does roll nicely on those. Here's the back. There is a gap here if you don't have this in there. So not the greatest, but that's okay because you can fill it. You kind of need this anyways. But if you want to, I guess you could put it here on the side or whatever. Make it into a gun. Whatever you want to do. Me personally, I think it looks best on the top here. Now you can flip around. Actually, you can make it into a weapon. You can open this up, but it's kind of a tight fit, so you can't really get it too far. And there's not really a cockpit or anything to put something inside of, but overall pretty good looking vehicle. And for size comparison, there it is next to the Earthrise Optimus Prime. Fits in perfectly. Same size as other vehicles from the deluxe, retail line. So final thoughts on the Transformers Legacy Pointblank. Let's start with the positives. I think he looks pretty good in robot mode. The waist is something else, but overall the paint and the detail they put on him is pretty good for a deluxe scale figure. I do like the look of the Target Master, both in the robot mode and in the gun mode. Negatives wise though, the robot, especially the waist area here, it's very kind of open and it looks kind of unfinished. And then on top of that, these joints to the outside for the thighs are loose. So as you're posing, it's just kind of a pain to get him into a good looking pose because he just keeps moving on you. The other thing is the elbows. Another negative is this is very limited. You don't even get 90 degrees out of it. You do get this outward movement here, which I don't know if I mentioned, but even then it just feels very limited, and because of his weird proportions, he ends up looking kind of awkward as you pose him with the gun. I tried to get him to a good pose here, and no matter what I did, he just looks kind of awkward and weird. So not a huge fan of the robot mode. The vehicle mode looks really good. I think they nailed the vehicle mode. I love how they came together and they have the headlights, and just overall it just looks really nice. So that's really it for this review. We haven't gotten a Pointblank in a long time, so it's hard not to recommend this because we don't have any Pointblank available. But this one will suffice. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.